Well, hey everybody, Rob from Feedback Ranch, and today I want to talk about 5 great ideas when it comes to real estate digital marketing. How do you do digital marketing as a realtor, real estate agent? The year is 2019, things are going to change moving forward, but the principles of these ideas and these strategies are going to be around for a long time. So I got a little bit of a head cold. I've got little kids, they keep sending me colds. It's not a good thing. Snow's melted here in Minnesota and it's good, but here's the 5 ideas. The first principle that I would tell you is don't rely only on social media. If you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk and you listen to all the digital marketing guys, they're gonna tell you the power of Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, Twitter. Yes, social media is an amazing, powerful tool. You've got to tap into it. You need to be participating on them. In fact, even just so that people, if they Google your name, have your tweets and your YouTube channel pop up, that's a good reason to be on social media. But besides that, social media is the place where people are sitting, right? They sit on Facebook, they sit on Twitter, they're screwing around on Instagram. When you do advertising to social media, it's the equivalent of getting in front of them when they used to watch Full House back in the 90s, right? That's the new television, and for very inexpensive, you can get in front of them. That's a great thing. But here's the thing. Social media in almost every situation is a walled garden. It's a walled garden, except for in a couple cases. And what do I mean by a walled garden? Is that it's really only for people within that ecosystem. If you're sitting there looking at Facebook, you can have advertising up to you, but Google and Bing have thrown down against the social media companies to an extent and decided not to index them. So here's what I mean by that. If you search my business name, Feedback Ranch, you're gonna see my company website, then you're going to see my Facebook page, then you're going to see my YouTube channel, you'll see my LinkedIn profile, but you know what you don't see is all the great content that I put on those social media platforms. Google does not care to serve them up. With one little caveat, you'll notice when you go into images now, if you mark up your images appropriately in social media, tag them properly, I have seen recently that Google in Google Images is starting to serve up images from social media. So there's an opportunity there. Make sure that you put the proper tags for your company, your website, your core commercial keywords into the media of your social media, onto your videos and on your photos. So that's an important thing. But outside of that, you're only going to see your main profile. So that means that you need to be investing into the non-walled gardens. Well, what are the non-walled gardens? I tell you what, they are Twitter to an extent, Google My Business, your website, your blog, and your own content, and YouTube. So those systems, now YouTube and Twitter, the reason why I'm saying that they're not walled is because when you Google certain terms, if you have a tweet that's ranking really well for that, or if you have a YouTube video that's doing really well, Google has seemed to come to an agreement that it will serve up that content. So it's therefore an inbound asset. When people search your query, that might get served up, which is an inbound tactic, a little bit different than social media. So invest in your website too. Remember that you should be creating blog posts and landing pages that answer certain questions. But that's the first tip. Don't only go to social media. There's so much that you need to be doing on your website because that's what Google and Bing are going to find. Check out YouTube and Twitter as well. So that's my first thing. The second thing is, remember, yes, leads, listings, and leverage are kind of the 3 L's that Keller Williams preaches on how to grow. Yes, you want listings. Everybody wants listings. Every realtor I talk to that has a coach that helps them understand things says, of course you want listings because you can do 20 listings at a time. You control the lion's share of the commissions. Yes, it's all about listings, but getting in front of people for listings is difficult. So here's my second tip. Use Google Ads to show data for homes for sale in XYZ and then remarket to them. So here's the principle. If you look at the actual keywords that are out there, remember whenever you have a keyword, you have the keyword that's searched, you have the keyword with little modifiers, you have the location that that search occurred in. Here's my advice. People that are searching homes for sale in XYZ town, or that is a good indicator that they are either trying to find out where the values are in their area or they're trying to find a home for sale in that area. Usually the people doing that have an inkling that they want to sell their home. So you went from having all of the people that you could possibly advertise to on social media through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, to now if you could get all the people that are searching for homes for sale, that would be a smaller target that you could go after. It'd be less expensive to do. So here's what I recommend. In your local area, take out and create landing pages that address homes for sale Lakeville, Minnesota. Create a landing page that has the homes for sale organized really well, and have it be, mywebsite.com/Lakeville MN 55044. And then make the meta title, meta description really good. And from there, you want to create a Google Ads ad in your region so that when people search homes for sale in Lakeville, and they are in Lakeville, they are people that are relevant to you, that you would have a Google ad come up. Now, and you want to write enticing copy so they click on it, they see it, and they go in and they start searching properties. Well, you could think, well, I don't want buyers, but that's not the point. If you've put your Google AdWords, Google Analytics, and Facebook Pixel and LinkedIn tracker on your website, now everybody who's gone to that website can now be a custom audience. And when you have that custom audience, you have an opportunity to serve them up what's called retargeting or remarketing. Now, in remarketing, you could take 10 great blog posts or a couple of ads saying, are you live in Lakeville and want to see your home value? And you can talk about yourself as a team. You can try to connect. You can now advertise directly to those people because you make a custom audience. You could even do YouTube videos that would pop up only when they watch YouTube videos just to that small group. So the first principle, don't rely only on social. Make sure you use your website, Google My Business, YouTube, and Twitter, the inbound solution. Second is use Google Ads to go after people who are searching for homes for sale. And then part 3 of that, or the next step in that, is to use remarketing by installing those codes, and then you can create calls to action, right? By doing that, you're going to have a great smaller group of people that you can invest more money in that probably are thinking about moving. That's what we've found. The next thing is get reviews like crazy. Get Google reviews like crazy. Google My Business is your friend. It is going to be what intersects in a bigger way in the future than almost any other platform besides your website, really. But make sure that all the people that know that you're trustworthy or who have interacted with you go in and give you a Google review. And there's a principle of a bear here. If you and your friend are getting chased by a bear, you don't have to outrun the bear, you just have to outrun your friend. And the same is true when it comes to Google reviews. All you have to do is make sure that you have more reviews than the other realtors around you, and some interesting things will happen. Little side note on that, make sure you have an office in the honey hole that you want to win, because search data, if people are searching for realtors, which they do, best realtors around me, top realtors, Lakeville, whatever that is, if you have a Google My Business in that honey hole, you have more reviews than them, and you start posting to your Google My Business, you have the services filled out, you have information on there, you're going to pop up quite a bit, and people are going to call you because of that. So get reviews, take those reviews and also put them on your website. You should have a section on your website that shows your Google reviews and your testimonials. That's an incredibly important thing, because people go on this buyer's journey, they become aware of you, then they want to find out if you're worth calling, and that's a big deal. Next thing, besides showing your client testimonials and your Google reviews, make sure that you have a listing of homes you've sold, right? You don't want people that come to find you just to think that, and be totally clueless about how much work you've done. Make sure you have a tab, and it could be like a portfolio type or a blog category, and you hit properties I've sold or work I've done, clients I've had. And the idea is, even if they don't give you a testimonial or a review, you should have all the properties you sold, everything you listed. You should show the way you do photography. You should show the work you've done, because remember, the MLS will retire that data, and guess who still keeps that data? Zillow and Trulia. Well, you need to retain that information on your website so that you can show it to people to say, hey, look at all the work I've done. And that's super important. That way you can show, if you do that consistently over time, you'll show that you have more experience. But showcase your reviews, your testimonials, the homes that you've actually sold, the clients that you've actually helped. And then the last recommendation I have is to make sure that you're making, you could do this as a blog post, but you make landing pages for niche property searches or niche searches think about it. People are searching Ramblers for sale, Lakeville, Minnesota. Townhomes, new townhome development, Lakeville School District, ISD 194. Think of how those little, they're called long tail keywords, they're very specific. If you can have a landing page that actually has and then you can create a widget and put it on that actual page, or you can use Real Geeks or Conversion or whatever your tool is to have a blog post that talks about that, and then have the actual properties that are new construction townhomes or single level townhomes, lake homes for sale on specific lakes. As niche as you can get, you want to do that, but you got to do some homework to find out if the keywords are relevant. But as you make those landing pages, they can really help you over time. Whenever you have a landing page, here's the foundations of a good landing page, or even your home page. The meta title, meta description, page title, all matter. They should be in line with a keyword. They should also not be keyword stuffed, but it should say homes for sale, Lakeville, Minnesota 55044. Then it should be a description. If you're searching for homes for sale in Lakeville, whether it's a townhome, new construction, or whatever, here's a list that we put together. And then from there, on the page, you have on-page markup. You should have a header up on the top that talks about that keyword. You should have some copy that describes that keyword and talks about answering that actual query. As you make landing pages, mark them up properly, and then get backlinks. Go talk to your people in your chamber. Talk to other companies. And if you can, try and find ways to get hyperlinks pointing to that specific landing page, and you will start to rank more. Share those pages across social media so that Google sees that people engage with it. Do some Google ads to get people to see them. You do these things, you're probably going to have success. I hope that's helpful. I'm Rob from Feedback Wrench and Forward.